Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is February 13th of 2026. So, based on breaking news in advance, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to unleash an unprecedented wave of Islamic terrorism targeting multiple locations around the globe on the date of February 14th of 2026, specifically to trigger World War III. So, for those of you that are unaware, the CIA has groomed an Iranian puppet, the Crown Prince of Iran. His name is Reza Pahlavi, and he made his appearance today at the Munich Security Conference in Munich, Germany, alongside of multiple NATO heads of state, as well as a meeting with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. And this is specifically to highlight Iran on a global level just prior to the state-sponsored protests that are going to be executed under the guise of a quote-unquote global day of action. And this is going to happen on Saturday, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2026. And it's going to be flown under the banner of the Lion and Sun Revolution that is being pimped out by Reza Pahlavi, and is being propagated by the CIA media around the world. So, according to reports, this is supposed to take place in over 1,000 cities on the date of February 14th, with focus being on Munich, Los Angeles, and Toronto. And what's imperative to note here is that this impending wave of terrorism is going to be CBRN in nature. That's chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear in nature. And what the CIA is trying to do with these protests is to create a pretext for a preemptive attack or invasion of Iran, specifically to trigger World War III. That is the goal. And so these protests are expected to draw up to 1 million people or more. And so the Israeli Mossad has been instructed by CIA headquarters at Lake Geneva in Switzerland to attack. And so this is going to be a full-scale attack. I just identified a plot for an Iranian Republican Guard IRGC-based attack targeting mass transit-related entities in the greater New York metropolitan area, such as the MTA buses, the New York City subway, the Long Island Railroad, etc., etc. And so the CIA is going to unleash terrorism tomorrow, and it's going to be executed on the ground by the Israeli Mossad. Make no mistake about it. And because these protests are going to be happening globally, they're going to claim that there's some sort of global Iranian terror network, and this is all designed to foreshadow the secondary wave of attacks, which is going to be Iranian nuclear attacks. So, that being said, if the CIA resorts to their bread and butter, which has always been Islamic terrorism, we can expect anything from arson attacks, stampede attacks targeting the protesters, vehicular ramming attacks, suicide bombing attacks, vehicular-borne improvised explosive device, i.e. truck bombings, car bombings, IEDs, if I didn't say mass shootings, suicide bombings, dirty bombs, anything to disrupt these protests, which are obviously people want change in Iran, but not at the cost of nuclear war. And so these people, a majority of them, are likely getting paid by the CIA to protest. And given the locations, the amount of locations, and you can't get anybody to do anything, let alone protest in 100 different cities all around the world at the same time. So obviously this is orchestrated by the CIA. They're basically trying to stage a color revolution in Iran, and then while these people come out, as for peaceful change in Iran, then obviously the CIA is going to unleash this wave of terrorism as pretext for World War III. So obviously, if the CIA targets these protests, with focus being on Munich, Los Angeles, Toronto, New York. Those are the most likely cities to be targeted, but in the aftermath of this report, the CIA may reload and target other cities elsewhere. But given that there is the Munich Security Conference going on currently in Munich, Germany, that is obviously a high-profile target given the heads of state that are going to be present there, along with U.S. Secretary of State Mark Rubio, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, and I believe that German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is going to be there, along with Keir Starmer of the UK and Emmanuel Macron of France, and the usual suspects that show up to these events. And what's imperative to know here is that whatever attack happens on Valentine's Day, February 14th, surrounding these protests, like they may attack the protest itself, but they also may do an attack in the same city as the protests, with the same end being that this impending act of terrorism or acts of terrorism on the date of February 14th, that is likely, most likely 99.999% sure is going to be executed by the Israeli Mossad, is specifically designed to spawn a second global biological pandemic and or trigger World War III. And that's how we know who's behind it. So only the CIA has the ability to execute these high-level attacks via the Mossad, who executed 9/11 in New York City and 7/7 in the UK, and they assassinated presidents and prime ministers all around the world since the inception of the State of Israel, the terrorist State of Israel, back on May 14th of 1948. So, that being said, if this happens in any shape or form on the date of February 14th, and they may even stage a 9/11 style attack. They may stage anything. Is not out of the realm of possibility at this point. But if they stage any sort of terrorism-related activities surrounding these mass protests, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.